Hey everybody, it's Chris. Today we're looking at the new Cadet backpack from Dynamic Discs. This is their new entry-level backpack. It's even lower level than the Trooper. It's going to be MRSP of $24.99, so it really is aimed at that beginner market without sacrificing a ton of capacity, as you'll see shortly. So let's start on the outside. You got two mesh pockets, one on each side, and here you can see I have bug spray, sunscreen, my dog's leashes, quite a bit of space. And I think when you go to the other side, you're going to be even more encouraged by what you see over there, because here we have the straps. They're not the heaviest duty straps in the world, but so far they're comfortable. Now, that's with me having tested for like a third of a round, so I can't tell you how it's going to... I'm going to come back at the end of the round and do a little bit more detail on just how it felt at the end, but this is just very preliminary. But of course, the breathable mesh background, and you can see the bulge of the discs. That's actually going to fit in your lower back, depending on, well, if you're my height, it'll fit nicely in the lower back, so that's pretty decent. Go on the other side pocket. Here's the encouraging part. Hydro flask fits snugly inside these pockets, and you've got one on each side, so if you're a heavy water drinker, which is a terrible phrase, I probably shouldn't have used it. Anyway, if you drink a lot of water on the course, that's much better. These pockets will fit a hydro flask and a smaller bottle as well, or as you can see in here on the base, I have a tennis ball that my dogs found because they find tennis balls all the time. That's them panting on the side that you can hear. But this fits snugly, very secure, it hasn't fallen out. I've tipped the bag a couple times. I mean, if you tip it completely upside down, it's going to come out because it's elastic, and the bottle's pretty heavy when it's full of water, but in general, it's pretty safe. All right, outside pockets, continue. Up top, you have a small container pocket. Now, this is probably where a lot of people are going to put like their wallet and keys, but you can see capacity. I have 3 towels in here, and my whale sack. I like having my towels up near the top of the bag, so for me, that was a natural fit. It is weird having my keys down low that you're going to see in a second, but there's a pretty decent amount of storage in that little pocket, and I'll show you how it affects the inside of the bag in just a minute. The lower pocket actually has quite a bit of space. It's fairly flat. I mean, discs are right here, of course, but I've got my mini and a Sharpie and my keys and a pocket knife in case they need it in the lower area. Now on the inside, let's go to capacity. I've been having a discussion with my local retail store owner, and he's trying to, not an argument, but we've been quibbling over how to close this flap. Now, I actually prefer to fold the flap down this way and leave it out, which I know covers up the logo, and I know leaves the flap exposed, but I like the fact that it doesn't affect how the discs come out. Like, I can just get into the discs really nice and easy. He thinks, tuck it down in, and it does fit securely, and you can still get discs out, so I'm not discrediting what he's saying. I personally prefer to have it on the outside. But anyway, either way, you can do that. Anyway, here's the bulge of here's my towels up top. You can see it doesn't actually affect the discs, it's so high up. All right, biggest editive review I've ever done. This is going to be a split screen, so I'm going to voice over the portion that I did incorrectly. I had mentioned this is where I was keeping my putters, and somebody pointed out that I had missed the absolute obvious. Move the bug spray and the sunblock into the front pouch. And side pockets accommodate 2 putters, no problem. They also add rigidity to the bag. Easy solution. Can't believe I missed it. Literally face palmed when somebody pointed it out. Thanks, Huskers and Keenan. Now the capacity. It's rated as a 17 disc bag. So let's actually go through what I've got in here. We'll start with mids. I've got 4 truths and a justice, so pretty hefty start. 3 judges and a harp. Again, that's a lot of width because they're putters, right? Fairways. I've got 2 getaways, a Pioneer, and 3 escapes. And then I have 2 Raiders in here. So that's pretty decent capacity for such a small bag. Now, with all that out, you can see how the bag deflates. All of the structure of the bag is coming from the discs on the bottom. So, like I said, I think I mentioned it, I feel like the more full I have this bag, the more stable it is. I might have done that in a previous clip. I feel like if I have this bag fully loaded, it's actually quite stable when it's on the ground. And when I don't have it fully loaded, it's actually a little bit more spongy, not spongy, collapses a little bit more. And you saw it collapse when all the discs came out. All right, starting things back in. Like I said, not a whole lot of structure to the bag because it is, I mean, it's built to be soft, but that's just something to be aware of. So, fits nicely. I mean, you saw how many discs are in there, quite a bit. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I've got 19 including my putters in there. This is actually what I carry in my Trooper normally anyway. This is an exact copy of my bag just with different discs. So, decent capacity. I'm going to go out to the rest of the course. I'll check back in at the end and tell you how the rest of the round went on the feel. But for the first few holes, it's been pretty decent on the back. It's light. and you can see how light it is, and it has good capacity. So I'll put in a couple clips of me on the course with it, and then at the end I'll come back and talk to you about how it went. All right, see ya. All right, so we'll have just a couple videos of me on the course. This is hole 1. See, first time putting the bag down on a bench. Sits nicely. Again, those discs provide nice stability because of how they're situated. And this is what I was concerned about. This in the next video. How easily would the discs come in and out of the bag when it was on a flat surface? As you can see here, they slide out real nice. And in the second video, I'll actually show a little bit more of putting discs in, taking them out. And here's just examples of discs going in and out, those putters going back in. You can see how they've kind of pinched the bag a little bit, but easy to adjust. And then you're going to see a couple of drivers going in and out, nice and easy to get, easy to pull them out, easy to put them back in, no problems there. Here's a single strap carry. You can see it carries like a duffel bag. It's not super heavy, it's actually quite lightweight, so it's simple. You're not going to be stressing out your shoulders with it. And grabbing the putters out, nice and simple as well. Again, nice and lightweight, easy to sling up onto one shoulder, easy to adjust to 2-strap carry, double strap carry. It's a super light bag. Again, entry level, very entry level. It's going to be easy to pick up, easy to drop because of that lightweight. Good for quick rounds. That's my thought. Here it is on a pretty heavy slope, and you can see the discs just adjust their angle inside the bag a little bit to accommodate the bag. So it actually handles hills pretty well. Okay, so round wrapped up. It went up about 15 degrees while I was out there, so I'm pretty hot and a little addle-brained, so apologies if this is rambling. So let's start with pockets. Outside pockets worked fantastic with the elastic. I need to bug spray a few times because the mosquitoes are thick today. On the other side, the water bottle was easily accessible, held well, it gripped in there just fine. It was good that it was accessible because my dogs are old and from Alaska, and they were definitely showing it today. They drank all my water. On the inside, I had mentioned with the putters that I actually had them falling back sometimes. That was fine on short walks when I was single strapping it, but because there's very limited structure to the bag, I noticed on longer walks I would have to bring the discs forward so that they weren't pointed into they weren't stabbing into me by any means. Don't let me over exaggerate it, but they were pointed down, and it blocked when the discs are just there, they round into your lower back nicely. It's a good fit, but the discs, the 2 putters on top, kind of interfered with that nice fit. Horribly phrased. Hopefully you understand what I mean. Anyway, what I did notice with the bag was because there's limited structure and I keep my putters in the middle, sometimes the disc got a little askew. I had to fix that a few times. On the plus side, because there is limited structure, the discs themselves act almost as a slinky if you're on a hill. Now, note that I would always recommend placing your bag perpendicular to the hill, so long ways downhill as opposed to short. Always like this. The cool part was, and you'll see a picture of them on rocks, because there's very limited structure on the bottom, like if there was a root, the discs actually sank with the root and kept the bag nice and stable. So I thought that was pretty cool. You'll see a picture of that. So yeah, remember this is a $25 bag. Don't compare it to a $100 or $200 bag. Take it for what it is. It's just an entry-level thing to do quick rounds and carry a limited number of discs. If you treat it like that and think about it like that, I think you could be very happy. But again, just don't compare it to something that it's not. It's not meant to be an all-out, hold-everything tournament bag. It has good capacity for what it is. I was very pleased with all the stuff I had in it today, although I could have used 3 more water bottles so my dogs could have all 3 of them and I could still be thirsty. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. As always, please put questions and comments below so I can get back to you. This is, again, the Dynamic Discs Cadet bag, just released, I believe, last week. So, as always, thanks for watching.